But Mr. 59 is now a PGA Tour winner.
Welcome to Teeing Off. I'm RJ Mccullough. Adam Hadwin held off Patrick Cantlay down the stretch on Sunday to earn his first career PGA Tour win. It was no easy task though. Let's take a look at how things played out. Entering the final round 4 strokes behind Adam Hadwin, Patrick Cantlay had 2 goals in mind. The first, win. The second, finish in a solo second and earn his PGA Tour card for the rest of the year. Cantlay made it clear early on though, he wasn't just going to settle for second. After losing a stroke on the front 9, Hadwin looked to regain it on the 10th.
Terrible. Yeah. That's,
And with this putt, Cantlay moved within 2. Fast forward to the 13th, with Cantlay in close, it was Hadwin's turn to ramp it up.
Shot by Cantlay. What a shot. And that's got some speed.
So the lead remained 2 heading into the difficult snake pit, something Adam foreshadowed earlier in the week. But this wasn't what he had in mind.
This ball cutting a little too much. At the trees. Wow. And that ball didn't really carry any land, did it, Roger?
Adam would eventually face this for bogey. And the 2 stood all square in the 18th fairway.
This is fanned to the right. Didn't sound solid at all. Yeah, this is a good strike left to the hole. Did just what he needed to do. Even though it's going to get through the back of the green, it's okay.
Adam cozied up his putt, leaving Cantlay this to force a playoff.
And he did just the opposite. Hit a good putt. But Mr. 59 is now a PGA Tour winner. You don't think Adam Hadwin's pumped? He gets married.
How about that handshake from Cantlay? Further good news for Adam. He and his fiancée Jennifer will be tying the knot in 2 weeks. Their honeymoon was scheduled for the following week, which is Masters Week, and I think she'll understand that they're going to have to postpone that now. With the win, Adam Hadwin becomes the 3rd Canadian in the last year to earn a victory on the PGA Tour, following in the footsteps of Nick Taylor and Mackenzie Hughes. Now, Graham Dillette will certainly want to add his name to that list shortly as well. Now, despite the tough finish for Cantlay, the 2nd place is actually very good for him. The former top-ranked amateur golfer in the world, Cantlay was playing on a medical extension, which gives golfers 10 events to acquire either 389 FedEx Cup points or $624,000. With a 2nd place finish, Cantlay earned about $680,000, so he will now enjoy the rest of the 2016-17 season with full exempt status. It was just Cantlay's 2nd PGA Tour event in the last 28 months after a severe back injury and the tragic loss of his best friend and caddy sidelined him for quite some time. Patrick moved all the way up from 1,419th in the world up to 239th in the world golf ranking and will certainly be a player to look out for moving forward. Hadwin, meanwhile, moved up to 51st in the official world golf rankings and bumped all the way up to 4th in the FedEx Cup standings. And to top it all off, he received this congratulatory tweet from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Rounding out the top 3 behind Hadwin and Cantlay were Dominic Bazzelli and Jim Herman at 12 under, 2 strokes behind Hadwin. Now, although he wasn't playing this week, beef was on hand at the Valspar and as always, was quite entertaining. There to do some broadcasting work with Sky Sports, Beef showed his reporting inexperience at the end of this exchange with Henrik Stenson. I'm going to warn you, there's a little bit of language, so be careful.
Hey, it's Beef here. I found Henrik. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. Got this mic ready now, and yeah, just go out there and shoot a good number today to try and put some pressure on the boys.
Definitely. How's the game feeling?
Yeah, the game's been okay. Striking hasn't been as good as it can be. Putting's been pretty good all week, so we hope we can put it all together today.
Definitely. I heard you got your family out here, and I heard your little one run out on the course.
Yeah, that was on Friday. Kids were out of school. They came up from Orlando for the day, and yeah, she was pretty pleased to see me, I think, down the second. So she came hurtling down the left side there and caught me.
You haven't told them to go and join Hedwin's group, no? Today?
No, I was more hoping you could get out there and distract him for me.
That's good. How long, I'll fuck this up.
Back on the European tour, where Stenson and Beef spend most of their golfing time, fellow golfer David Horsey, great name, had himself a little adventure of his own.
David Horsey, final round of the Indian Open, his tee shot.
This one had a little more giddy up on it than I think he was expecting it. But man, rules official, get on the cart path.
Get out of the way. It's not big enough on the front of his cart either.
I love how the guy in the cart is like, what are you doing? When it's 100% his fault. And finally, back to Stenson one more time. He made many new fans on Thursday with an opening round 64, but it was his biggest fan that just had to say hello.
Oh, man.
This is Henrik Stenson. Never know what you're going to find in the fairway at the Valspar. It happens to be his daughter.
Yeah, they drove up from Orlando today to hang out a little bit, so she's on television again now.
Now, this happened during the round, but anyone that would complain about this has a cold, dead heart and should never be allowed to have children. Once again, not much Eldrick news to report this week. Tiger did, however, post a note on his website concerning his status for this week's Bay Hill Invitational, and the note read as follows. Unfortunately, due to ongoing rest and rehabilitation on my back, I won't be able to play in this year's Arnold Palmer Invitational. I'm especially disappointed because I wanted to be at Bay Hill to help honor Arnold. This is one event I didn't want to skip. Arnold has meant so much to me and my family. I thought of him as a close friend, and Sam and Charlie were both born in the Winnie Palmer Hospital for Women and Babies. He will be greatly missed and can never truly be replaced. No timetable for my return to golf, but my treatments are continuing and going well. All right then. This week, the tour returns to Bay Hill Club and Lodge for what will undoubtedly be an emotional week. Year in and year out, pros and fans alike have flocked to Bay Hill to pay homage to the king and see some of the best golf there is to offer. This year, though, it's a little different. After Mr. Palmer's passing in September at the age of 87, the golf world has been in a state of mourning. This week, the hope is that mourning will be replaced with a celebration of the life that Arnie lived and all of those that he touched so considerably. Among the many things that will be added and unveiled this week, one garnering a lot of attention is a 13-foot bronze statue that overlooks the 1st and 10th tees at Bay Hill. Now, unfortunately, this should be a positive week, but of course, there's a bit of drama. With the tour playing a WGC event in Mexico 2 weeks ago, and a match play next week, another WGC event, plus the Masters ramp-up starting, it's a little tough for some guys to fit this event into their schedule. And a lot of top players that would usually be at Bay Hill, unfortunately, are skipping the event. Now, of course, this looks bad, given that guys like DJ, Jordan Spieth, Adam Scott, Justin Thomas, and Phil Mickelson won't be in attendance. Now, to say it's disrespectful to Arnie, that's too much for me. These guys have rigorous schedules, families, travel obligations, sponsorship obligations, lots of things that could be the reason they're playing this week, not just that they don't want to pay homage to Arnie. Now, as great as it would be to have everyone in the field, it's not like the field is suffering at all. The likes of Jason Day, Rory McIlroy, Henrik Stenson, Ricky Fowler, Hideki Matsuyama, and Justin Rose, to name a few, will be in the field. So let's just focus on that. Jason Day won the event last year, having a miraculous up and down on the last hole to win by 1. As I mentioned, it's another strong field this year, and this course is year in, year out, one of the best on tour. You're bound to see some crazy scores, high and low, as there's always something wild going on. There's a lot of forced carries, a lot of doglegs, a lot of par 5s. This is a course that really pays off in a risk-reward manner for the tour players. So without further ado, here are my picks for this week. I will quickly mention that I hope you followed last week's picks because they worked out pretty well. 3 in the top 25, 2 in the top 10, and the winner. 5 of 6 made the cut, but I digress. Here we go. Wesley Bryan. Wesley has made 4 straight cuts with 3 top 10s this season, and his last 3 starts are a 7th, 4th, and 4th place finish. Graham Dillette. Graham Dillette has made 5 straight cuts with 2 top 10s this season, and his last 3 finishes are 22nd, 10th, and 17th. Tyrell Hatton. Tyrell is 4 for 4 on cuts made this year. He has 3 top 10s in his last 3 starts, 10th, a 4th, and a 3rd. Charles Howell III. Howell has made 6 of 6 cuts this season with 2 top 10s. In his last 3 starts, he's finished 49th, 52nd, and 15th, as well as 3 straight top 50 finishes at Bay Hill. Zach Johnson. Zach has made 3 straight cuts with 1 top 10 this season, and his last 2 starts at Bay Hill have been a 5th and a 9th place finish. And Henrik Stenson. Henrik is 4 for 4 in cuts made this year with 4 top 10s. His last 2 starts have been a 7th and a 2nd, and in his last 3 finishes at Bay Hill were a 3rd, a 2nd, and a 5th. Alright, that is it for another week of teeing off. Thank you for watching. I'm RJ Mccullough. Good luck if you're playing DraftKings. Enjoy the Bay Hill, Arnold Palmer Invitational. There's going to be lots of fun stuff to watch for. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.